Well, in a single word, yikes, Dallas Mavericks fans.
Yeah, this one hurts, for sure. It hurts.
Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, the basketball gods have struck down upon you with great wrath and furious vengeance, retribution for your part in executing the most pathetic, disgusting trade in basketball history. Hell, potentially all of sports history.
No, on a serious note, we definitely understand the magnitude of what just transpired. It's not lost on us. Definitely would like to thank Luka for his brilliance and, over the last, 4 years since we've been here, what we've been able to accomplish.
After all, it was just about 1 month ago that Nico Harrison and company decided to ship Luka Doncic out of town for Anthony Davis and one single first-round pick. Davis, of course, played in all of one game total, scratch that, roughly 3/4 of one game, before reverting back to his old, predictable ways.
I call him Anthony Street Clothes Davis because he's always in street clothes.
And sure, Davis looked dominant in the 2.5 quarters he played in prior to going down with a non-contact injury, just as a way to tease Dallas fans to the possibilities. And despite the fact Davis indicated the injury wasn't serious following the game,
But it's nothing, serious. I'm fine.
Well, what area of the leg?
Am I growing?
yeah, it ended up being kind of serious, as AD is still out and expected to miss potentially the remainder of the regular season. But not just that, they are also missing the entirety of their front court rotation at the moment, with Daniel Gafford out for 6 weeks with an MCL sprain, while Derek Lively is still out for a few more weeks himself with a foot fracture. Despite the insane amount of injury luck, Dallas has somehow, some way, clinged with dear life to the play-in range, hanging tenuously at that 10 seed currently in the West, which is the final spot in that play-in tournament. And they have done so on the back of All-Star guard Kyrie Irving. Irving, who has been balling since the Luka trade to keep the Mavs afloat during their recent rash of injuries, as since the Luka trade, Kyrie has been averaging 28 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals per night in 39.5 minutes per game. The 39.5 minutes a night, FYI, has led the league over that span of time, and in those 9 games Kyrie has played since Doncic was dealt to LA, the Mavericks are 5-4. He was doing all he could to keep the now 32-30 Mavericks in some tiny semblance of playoff contention until Davis and the remainder of the team could return from their various injuries. But alas, Dallas fans, disaster has struck again Monday night in the Mavs' 122-98 loss to the Kings when Irving went down with a scary-looking knee injury early in that game. And just yesterday, the worst fears were realized as Irving was announced out for the season with a torn ACL.
It's painful to deal with this. At this point,
But at least Irving, who is a huge and well-renowned Kobe disciple, honored his mentor by hitting 2 free throws after the injury before ending his night in a scene that was reminiscent of Kobe's 2 free throws following his Achilles rupture.
and I think that the greatest gift that I gave to myself was going to that free throw line and hitting both free throws. If I didn't make both free throws, and if if I didn't make those free throws, I would have been pissed all year. You guys have no idea.
Although, in quintessential Kobe fashion, he walked off the court under his own power after his makes. The latest injury to Irving was just the cherry on top of the ass Sunday that is the Mavs season.
It's a complete crap.
A season that is 1 year removed from the Mavericks' improbable run to the NBA Finals. But this is what happens when your organization is a shoddily run pile of garbage at the top on down, from ownership to the general manager Nico Harrison, which, speaking of him, calls for his job will only intensify now, in keeping with the ongoing protests outside of the arena following the disastrous trade debacle with the Lakers.
Fire Nico!
Of course, all of this comes amid the news from a few days ago that the Mavericks ownership will be raising ticket prices next year for, get this, ongoing investments in the team and fan engagement. Prices will rise on average 8.6%. And here's an idea to enhance fan engagement, guys. Don't trade away your generational 25-year-old superstar on the heels of 5 consecutive first-team selections because, allegedly, he is fat and lazy. Fat and lazy, despite leading the league in scoring last year, finishing 3rd in the regular season MVP voting, and taking your team to the finals. But surely that wasn't going to blow up in your faces, because of course it did. The Lakers have risen from the 5 seed to the 2 seed since the Mavericks handed him over to them, and now, well, you guys are going nowhere. Like, literally not even going to qualify for the play-in, let alone the playoffs. And yeah, this injury is a double kick to the old stick for the Mavs, as the AD trade really was made for the short term, as in this year and next primarily. The Luka trade was always an unmitigated failure from a long-term perspective. But Kyrie and AD, with these defensive pieces surrounding them this year and next in the postseason, would have been intriguing. And now we likely won't even get to see it, as Kyrie is done for this year, and with the traditional length of time needed to rehab from ACL surgery being anywhere from 6 months to 1 year, he is going to miss most of next season too, which simply is bad timing for Kyrie as well from an individual standpoint, as he was set to enter next season on a player option final year of his contract, an option he was expected to decline for a big extension. No doubt, though, this is much worse for the Mavericks, who have hitched their wagon to Irving, who turns 33 in 3 weeks, and now will be rehabbing this knee injury for the better part of the next year, and Anthony Davis, who turns 32 in 1 week with all of his vast injury history he has to his resume. Yeah, you really do have to feel for these Mavs fans out there. But, well, unfortunately, that is what you get when your franchise is helmed by pitiful ownership and an ass general manager. And to take that stroll down memory lane to relive that baffling trade, which made no sense at the time, you can check out this video right here, and make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with more from me. Until next time.